My name is Reilly, and I'm honoured to have been selected as a Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering this year. I'm a Major General in the British Army, currently working at the Ministry of Defence's Defence Equipment and Support Organisation, or D&S. In 1997, I commissioned into the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, known as the REME. It was here that I found my first passion for engineering and started a career that would take me all over the world. After Sandhurst, I spent time learning my trade in Germany, and this was a period of mass armies facing each other across the inner German border and huge exercises supporting large military formations. In the fragmentation of Europe following the Cold War, I found myself deployed in Bosnia and Kosovo on peacekeeping operations. I ran teams fixing vehicles originally designed to operate in Germany that were now being used in demanding environments and mountainous conditions without our established supply lines. As an engineering officer, we learnt to be innovative and creative to sustain and support the fleet. In 2003, as a young captain, I was assigned to the prestigious Household Cavalry Regiment as their first female engineering officer, commanding over 100 soldiers to provide intimate support to a complex fleet of armoured reconnaissance vehicles, a squadron of which deployed to Iraq during the Second Gulf War. After a variety of roles back in the UK, I was promoted to the rank of Major and became a company commander of an armoured REME company. I found myself on exercises in Canada as the lead engineer supporting an armoured infantry battle group in a complex warfighting exercise. This was vital training for our future deployment as we redeployed our vehicles and equipment back to the UK from Iraq. This was a monumental challenge as equipment had to be deployed in the desert for over a decade and it needed inspecting and repairing so that it could be returned to the UK in good order. By the time I was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in 2013, I was the commanding officer of an armoured REME battalion. My engineering skills had developed to understand not only how to support complex platforms, but also the engineering, logistics and medical support required to sustain an entire armoured brigade. During this time, I was fortunate to be able to command a combat service support unit of 1,000 soldiers back in Canada, before deploying them to Poland on the first NATO assurance mission as part of NATO's commitment to protect Poland and the Baltic states. In 2014, I was also given the opportunity to complete a civilian attachment to further develop my engineering and business skills. I joined the Thames Tideway team who were constructing London's £4 billion, 25-kilometre super sewer to intercept, store and transfer sewage waste away from the River Thames. I was their chief of staff at a critical time when we were forming the company and moving from the project design phase into delivery. I learnt an awful lot about large infrastructure projects, and I'm immensely proud of being part of a programme that has delivered such an important infrastructure programme for London. I also had the privilege of being an assistant equerry to the Duke of Edinburgh for 5 years. Prince Philip was Colonel-in-Chief of the REME, and during our time together, his passion for engineering was evident, as was his tireless support for the Royal Academy of Engineers as our senior fellow and founding member. After various roles in D&S, in November 2022, I became the Director of Strategic Capability, Engagement and Operations, a role that brought together nearly 3 decades of expertise. Today, I'm focused on supporting UK troops deployed overseas and coordinating the Ministry of Defence's support to Ukraine. I've had a varied military career, of which I'm incredibly proud. As a Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering, I hope to give as much as I can back to my profession, bringing all this expertise together to help the next generation of military and civilian engineers fulfil their potential.